Almost a year ago to the day, I bought one of my bucket list cars, a 1998 Nissan 240SX. I'd always loved the Kouki body style, and when the opportunity presented itself to buy this car, I had to jump on it. Over the next year, I started to curate and collect parts for a very OEM, Nismo style build that would retain the classic style and factory body of the car, using some of my favorite OEM aero pieces while updating the powertrain and driveline with modern components. Before we could do anything, I had to get the shell back to a clean starting point, beginning with a full exterior detail and paint correction, followed by a very thorough interior detail before installing the cleanest interior pieces I could find across the entire US. Next, we attacked the body. The spare tire well had been jacked up at some point in its life and split at the seam. The front needed a new core support, so I took the cars to professionals to have the trunk repaired using a donor car and install a new OEM core support onto the car. And most recently, I had the underside sandblasted, put on a rotisserie, old seam sealer was removed, fresh black epoxy was laid down, new seam sealer was applied to match OEM spec, and finished off with a nice chip guard. But more on that later. In my head, the goal was always to have an S13 hatch in the garage alongside the S14 one day, a Slicktop Hot Red hatch. Now, I'm telling you this whole story for two reasons. One, so you can understand just how badly I caught the S chassis bug in the last year. And two, you'll understand just how ridiculous it is that I'm making a video with this car right here, right now. Given I had been off the deep end with my S14 build, I figured I was at least a few years away from having that duo in the garage together. And realistically, I was. That was until October 19th, when I received a message on Instagram from a friend I had met through building the S14, who was building an S13 with similar attention to detail. A 1990 S13 Slicktop Hatch in hot red. The only catch, I needed to put it together. All right, you guys, there it is, my 1990 Nissan 240SX S13 hatch. This car, as you can tell, is super special and in incredible condition. One of the things that sold me on this car in the first place was that this car was in good shape before he began the restoration on it. And the restoration part that has been done exactly the same way that I would have gone about it. It's as if I bought a project that I had already started. Like, this is the perfect car, and there's some cool backstory to it beyond it just being a beautiful version of an S13 that I want to share with you guys. So strangely enough, I ended up meeting the original owner of this car purely because of the S14. He had seen my content on YouTube, reached out to me on Instagram, happened to be local, and was building something very similar to what I was building. So we were going back and forth, sending photo updates of our projects, and just talking back and forth. Now, he was the third owner of this car, and when he bought it, it was entirely stock. I'm gonna throw a photo up on the screen there because he showed me some of the photos from the day he actually bought it, and completely stock car. He bought it from the second owner, obviously, and that guy had bought it off of the family of the original owner who had unfortunately passed away. Now, before I bought this car, the previous owner actually bought this from the guy who had listed it on Bringer Trailer. He didn't get the reserve he was looking for, and it ended up being sold locally to the previous owner, who had every intention of keeping this car for the rest of his life. So when he offered to sell me this car, I knew it was too good to pass up. It's an 80,000 mile chassis. It has the original window sticker from the Kent Nissan dealership where it was bought. This has been a Washington car its entire life. How many 32-year-old cars have window stickers with them, let alone how many 240s still have the original window sticker? This thing is so clean. I could go on and on about it, and we're gonna do just that over the course of this build series. There is so much more to get into, far more than I could get into in a single video. So let's take a step back in time. I'm gonna show you how this car was when I picked it up and what we had to do to get it into the shape that you saw it for the official review. So going back in time, this is how I picked the car up. I just threw the fenders on it when we got home because I didn't have anywhere else to put them, and that was the safest place. So those are loosely on the car, bolted in up top. Now there's a few things about this car that made it absolutely irresistible to buy it. I had to find a way to buy this car. So I just want to quickly go over what each of those things were for me when I was looking at this car. First of all, as you can tell, it's been repainted. It's been repainted properly front window was out. All the body work was done really, really well. It's repainted in the original color, which is hot red. That was huge for me. I must be getting old because I love the fact that this car is the original color and was repainted the original color. That's my plan with the S14. So that was a must whenever I got my S13 hatch. And I wanted it to be hot red. It had to be hot red. They just look the best in this color. The other pretty crazy thing about this car is that with it being an 80,000 mile chassis, the rubber and trim is all in insanely good shape. Like, that is huge. Some of the stuff you just can't even buy anymore. And I've learned with the S14, buy a car like this that's in this shape. You know, it's been fun to make the content and restore that from really the ground up, but this is really the way to buy the car and do it in a more affordable fashion. As you can see, interior is beautiful. Dash is perfect, no cracks. And just to be clear, the full interior was included with the car. It just needs to be put back in the car, but there is a brand new carpet kit over there. So the first order of business will be getting new carpet in here, but this thing is just immaculate. To see the paint underneath the carpet be this clean, like, it's just ridiculous. You can see a bunch of the interior pieces that I was talking about being included back here are all wrapped in saran wrap, super protected. You can take a look at that black carpet. All of the interior carpeting pieces look that clean. It's crazy, you guys. I can't express how clean this car is. The underside of the car had been completely restored in similar fashion to my S14. So it was stripped down to bare metal. They put down an epoxy primer, re-seam sealed, and put down black Raptor liner. So Raptor liner is what I used on the Legacy GT. On the S14, I did something a little bit different. It's a U-Pole product. It's a chip and stone guard. So I've heard great things about both products, so it'll be interesting to see how they hold up over time. And the car already has the best aero on it. It's got a full Type X kit, Type X front bumper with the N1 vents in it. We'll get that unpacked here in a little bit because we're gonna put it on the car. But my favorite color, my favorite aero, slick top hatch, I just had to have it, you guys. This thing is so beautiful and I cannot wait to put it together. Which brings us to the parts. This thing is essentially a big Lego kit ready to be put together. There are so many parts here. We're gonna dive into this and go over the full build plan for the car in the next video, but I'll give you a quick overview. We have an S14 SR20 DET, have the carpet kit that I mentioned over here, Koyo Rad radiator. We've got the R-Tech turbo manifold, a Garrett GT25 550, which is the same turbo that we're gonna run on the S14. So we're gonna have identical turbo setups, which is awesome. Z32 brakes. There is a full SPL arm kit in here. All of the factory arms have been powder coated and in places reinforced. It's crazy, you guys. Everything is here to put the car back together. And if it didn't come with the car, I went out and bought it. This build is gonna be crazy, you guys. I'm telling you, I'm so excited for this build series. If you're new to the channel, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. This build is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. But today, I'm gonna go through and start getting this stuff organized because before we can dive in and go crazy getting this car built, I gotta know where everything is, and I gotta find some of the hardware to put the front bumper on today, as well as the Gana doors. Yes, we've got freshly rebuilt, painted Gana doors. But wait, there's more. We got some minty interior plastics over here. These are freshly rebuilt and powder coated axles that match the front steering rack. This was rebuilt by a guy down in Texas. I'm blanking on his name, but I'll put his Instagram handle up on the screen here. So this is all fresh and ready to go with matching axles. Nismo power brace. He's had the factory sway bars powder coated. The subframe has been powder coated. I'm actually gonna have the front and rear subframe powder coated black. That's just more my style, and then we'll leave all the arms in the silver like he's done here. To match the Nismo power brace, we've got a chrome intake manifold. Everything here on the throttle body has been rebuilt. Everything is all zinc on the hardware. That was all done by New JDM, and I'm gonna be working with him on this build as well as the S14 build to get a couple things done. Now, I don't think the chrome's my style. I thought I was gonna run it, but I think ultimately what I'd really like to do is sell this and get a factory manifold, which is what this was before it was chromed, and just have it vapor honed and look super clean. That's more my style. Then we got the brake booster over here. This has been paint matched to the car. It's beautifully done, but I think I'm gonna have this done in black. Again, just more my style and subdued in the engine bay. Wait till you see those. But I'm gonna start working through this pile, getting that stuff organized. And basically my plan is to get the front bumper and Gana doors on today. And then after we go over the build plan in the next episode, we're gonna be diving into the interior, getting that all back together so we can put these beautiful seats in. Let's go ahead and get to it. So I would imagine you're starting to understand why I could not miss the opportunity to buy this car. Look at the level of organization that this was taken apart with. This looks like something that I would do. We have the same sickness. This is great. So when I go to put back together the interior, we have our headliner clips, driver's side kick panel, driver's side upper seat belt. It's so organized. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff with the interior pieces, which are over here. I've gone ahead and kind of sorted everything out. This is all interior pieces. This is stuff for the front end that I'll probably be looking at today as I start to put the bumper on. This is all suspension stuff, other than what I've organized on top. But just craziness. Fortunato coilovers, Z32 brakes in there with the e-brake kit, whole SPL arm set. We're gonna go through all of this next time. All the engine stuff that came with the S13. I have a whole cart full of engine internals over there that we're gonna be using on this build. We're gonna break it all down next time. Like I said, car needed a few things. I bought them, got a gas tank. Shout out Nissan Parts CC in Olympia. Picked this stuff up locally. So new gas tank, new straps. Got the radiator mounts for both the S13 and 14. Radiator bushings for top and bottom. And you know, they hook you up with the high shoe. Super nice. So obviously had to get the Ganadors included. I've always wanted a set of Ganadors. You know, I know they're super hyped and overpriced, but this was the car to put them on. He already had them, they're paint matched. He even went to the extent of rebuilding these completely. I'll put a picture up here on the screen to show you those completely broken down after they've been painted. All new zinc hardware inside. It's insane. And to top it all off, they're actually made for a left-hand drive car. So this is the first thing I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna start working on getting these on the car, and then we'll start looking at the front end. Okay, so I kind of pieced everything together on this side to get a feel for how this goes together. So this is the bracket that you're seeing here, and it basically clips in to the bumper like so, and then these prongs come through so that you can attach the extension that goes onto the fender. And that goes on with clips there, and then with a strip of 3M tape as well, it looks like. And then there's a connection for a screw down here in the bottom, so that thing is super secure. So next thing up on the front end install, we got to get this retainer in here, and then it's got the seal that goes on there as well. So this is a whole separate piece, bolts on. We tighten the nuts down on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those down, and this goes in here like so, and that way the bumper can rest on it. So we've got 4 bolts holding that in once we get the seal bolted on. I have no idea why I thought that would work to put the bumper over the post with this on the car. Clearly you were supposed to install this on the bumper while it's off the car and then attach it to the car. Now you know. All right, so we got the bumper put on the car. I went ahead and got this corner situated just so I could understand how everything went together. And then back here we have a super clean English Racing fender brace. So let's jump to the other side so you guys can see getting everything put together. So the front right corner looks amazing. Panel gaps are nice and straight. I mean, as they should be, but just spend some time making sure those were getting lined up. Got the JDM turn marker in there. So the front end is mostly done with the exception of a lip. Yes, those are two painted lips. It's a Type X lip, but it is an aftermarket one. This is not an OEM part, but love the fact that we've got two in case something happens to the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and get this one fit on. Long term, what we'll do is we'll put this on with some 3M tape and then put I think we'll drill a hole down here and then put a screw through it. Or it's like a poppet. I was talking to the previous owner about how to do it. So we've got a super clean way to do that. For now though, I am just gonna clip it on because the fitment is that tight and it fits that nicely. So I just wanna be able to see what it looks like on the car and show you guys the front end completely put together. This is literally almost too much for my brain to process. The front end of this car looks stupid. It looks so good. Oh my God. I cannot get over it. Type X Aero is just undefeated. And in hot red, just how you can see all the lines. Oh my God. I cannot believe I own this car, you guys. I cannot believe we are gonna build this on the channel. You guys are gonna watch this car come completely to life. This is gonna be my first really big major build to come out of this shop. Obviously we did a good amount of work on the Legacy GT, but this is gonna be on a whole nother level, something that puts the Avenged name on the map. I hope you guys are ready.